Has your partner stopped doing things that he used to do for you at the beginning of the relationship, and now you feel like you are left to do these things on your own? You are now nagging him to take you on a date night. You are having to nag him to cook you a meal, when once upon a time, he used to do all of those things for you. He used to take you on amazing date nights. He used to cook you amazing meals. He used to make you the best smoothies and help you and make your life easier. What if I told you that there is a way, a simple way, that you can get him to go back to the start and start doing those things for you like he did at the beginning of your relationship, without shouting at him, without having to threaten him, without having to break up with him and get back together with him? Well, you're in luck, because there is, and I am going to show you how you can do that, why he has started to do this, and I'm going to give you some practical examples and phrases of things that you might say to him which is triggering him to not want to do these things for you, or pushing him away from wanting to do these things for you, and what you can say instead. So first things first is stop setting up negative expectations of him. When you set up negative expectations of him, he is more likely to screw up. He is more likely to get it wrong. Let me give you an example. Let's say you and your partner are in the kitchen and he is about to make a smoothie. You also have a few friends around. And as he is about to make this smoothie, you say to all of your guests, he is the worst person to make a smoothie. He makes the worst smoothies ever. He never knows how to get that milk and fruit ratio right. His smoothies are the worst. Honestly, you do not want to try them. You might say this as a joke and you might think, oh, I didn't mean any harm. It's just the truth, right? However, when you say this, you are setting up negative expectations of him that are going to prime him to fail. There is something that couples have, and it's something I like to call a partner mirror. Interestingly, men take a lot of their self-worth and their self-confidence from their wives, from their partners, from their girlfriends. So if you tell your partner, oh, you're always late, you're so bad with money, you're not good with the kids, you don't know how to cook, 9 times out of 10, he's going to tend to believe that. And the reason being is because you are the closest person to him. You are the person that knows him the most. You are the person who probably spends the most time with him. So when he looks in his partner mirror and he sees himself through the lens that you see him through. So if your lens of him is not constantly positive and you are great at making smoothies, I'm sure you're gonna make this one taste amazing. And baby, you are so good with money. You're really good with money. You know what you're doing. We might have had 1 or 2 mistakes, but overall, you know what you're doing. You're great with the kids. The kids love you. When you start using that type of language with him, as opposed to, you're not good with money, you don't know what you're doing with the kids, I'll make the smoothie, you don't need to do that, I will do it. What you are doing is discouraging him and tainting his partner image that he has and his self-perception of himself. So what I want you to do now is I want you to treat him as if he is punctual. I want you to treat him as if he is patient. I want you to treat him as if he is tidy. I want you to treat him as if he is capable. Even when your situation seems really bleak and things seem like they might not be going the way that you want to, you have to remain positive and big up this expectation that you have of him. You've got this, baby. You'll always be able to do this. You're a winner. You might have failed once or twice, but I genuinely do believe in you. Why would I be with someone who's a loser? Yeah, I wouldn't, because you're a winner. The more that you act like things are going to turn out well, the more that you manifest the outcome of these situations being positive. So when your partner's actions or lack of make you anxious and nervous and scared, what I want you to do in this situation is remain calm, act carefree, and just believe that the outcome will be good. Over time, what's going to happen is he's going to live up to this positive expectation that you have of him. Because now, when he looks in his partner mirror and he looks at himself through your eyes, he's going to say, yeah, I am able to do that. Yes, I am capable of doing that, because the person who loves me the most, who knows me the most, said so. And that's how it works. So let me give you some examples of things that you might be seeing with your partner, which are actually reinforcing this negative perception that you have of him. Obviously, a lot of these things are said and done subconsciously. They're not done with the intention of, I don't like you, I don't believe in you, I don't think you can do this. This is why a lot of these statements that I'm going to say now are going to have you thinking, wow, I didn't realize that that could be so damaging for how he's going to show up for himself and in turn show up for me in this relationship. So let me give you an example. Let's say you and him are driving and you are sat in the passenger seat and he seems to be driving rather fast, and you say to him, baby, don't you think that we should slow down a bit? When you say this, the expectation that you have of him, that you are projecting onto him, is that you don't think he can drive, you think he's going to crash the car, you think he doesn't have the visual awareness or the speed awareness to know whether or not he is driving at the correct speed or if he can control this car. Let me give you another example. Let's say that you and him are washing the dishes, or maybe he's just washing the dishes, and you waltz over and you say, oh darling, you do know that you have to fully wash the plate and everything off it before you put it in the dishwasher. The expectation that you have of him, that you're projecting onto him, is that I don't think you are going to do a good job. Let's say the boiler breaks in the house and you say to him, maybe we should call a professional. The expectation that you're projecting onto him in this scenario is that, well, you obviously can't fix this, so we need to call another man who definitely does know what he's doing. In that scenario, just leave him. Let him figure it out on his own. Let me give you another example. Let's say he has just come back from work and he has been called into a meeting and him and his boss are not seeing eye to eye. His boss has been rude to him with some things that he said, very direct with him, and he's come home and he's told you about it. You say to him, well, baby, if I were you, I wouldn't put up with my boss talking to me like that. When you say that, what he is reading is, you don't think that I can stand up for myself, or you don't think I will stand up for myself. So essentially, all your partner hears is, in this situation, I don't think you are going to do very well at all. You need guidance, you need help, you are not capable. It's giving a strong suggestion that your partner is going to screw up. And all that's left for him to do is to prove you right. Even advertisers recognize the power of suggestion and they use it every single day. Let me give you an example. Let's say you are driving and you drive past this billboard, and it's a billboard for Coca-Cola. And on the billboard, it has a picture of the Coca-Cola and the slogan is, how about an ice cold Coca-Cola? In that moment, all you want is a Coca-Cola, because that suggestion has been so powerful to you, and you're like, you know what, yeah, I do fancy a Coca-Cola. I'm gonna stop off at the closest shop nearby. Or yeah, I'm gonna have one with my dinner tonight as a treat. So in this scenario, if you were a billboard and your partner was to pass you every day on his way to work, you would read, you forgot to go to the post office again, didn't you? It's that power of suggestion. It's setting up a negative expectation of him, which is creating this negative reality. And it's going to do you a disservice, do him a disservice, and it's definitely going to destroy your relationship in the long run. Expressing your negative opinions of your partner is harmful, but it's also a waste of your breath. If you take an honest look at your relationship, you'll realize you've never really gained anything positive from expressing these negative comments to your partner. Chances are he doesn't spend any more time with the kids. Chances are he still doesn't go to the doctors or book in a doctor's appointment as frequently as you would like him to. Chances are he still doesn't eat any better than when you first met him. People don't tend to improve because you've pointed out their obnoxious behavior. At best, it's going to make them make a half-hearted attempt at being better. At worst, they're going to rebel and do the opposite. After all, if you are going to show up as this controlling and naggy mum figure who doesn't trust him to do anything right, you know, you're doing it wrong, do this instead, then yeah, he's likely to show up as a rebel without a cause. Most people tend to respond well to positive reinforcement, trust, and respect. Think about it. If you were to cook a meal for your partner every single day for dinner. And every single day he sat down to eat it, he was like, wow, this is horrible. You're a horrible cook. You can't cook. This is horrible. And very quickly, you are going to stop wanting to cook for him because you want to avoid that feeling of humiliation. You want to avoid that feeling of being ridiculed. You're spending all of this time cooking him meals to be told that ultimately you are not good enough. Eventually, over time, you're just going to stop. You're not going to want to do that. However, if you were to cook that meal for your partner and every night he would sit down and he would taste the meal and he would say, wow, baby, you're getting better. It's so much better than the meal that you cooked yesterday. You're really starting to understand your flavors and your seasonings. I'm really enjoying this one so much more. Then of course, the following day, you're going to be more than excited to get in the kitchen and put together an amazing meal in a bid to impress him. Remember, people want to do more of the things that they believe they are good at. And if they are not good at them, they want to do more of the things that they believe they have the potential to get good at. So if you ridicule him, he's going to stop trying because now he is going to associate the lead up to that activity. So let's say he planned a date and now you've ridiculed him. Like, why would you bring me to this restaurant? This restaurant is horrible. I hate this food. I hate where we're sat. It's horrible. He's not going to want to do more of those things for you because now he's associating that rejection and humiliation from you with planning that date. And that is the reason why he stopped doing the things that he used to do for you at the beginning of the relationship, because you are overly critical and you are with good intentions. I completely understand. You want to critique him like, no, baby, you know, I want to go to this restaurant. Next time, do this instead. There are ways to say things to your partner to not completely ridicule him and humiliate him into not actually wanting to do those things for you at all. Like I said, there's always a better way to say something that's not going to completely ridicule him. Let me give you an example. Let's say your partner has a work interview for a new job. He is underqualified, but he has bags of enthusiasm, okay? He has had a week to prepare for this interview and he leaves it right till the last minute. And he says to you, baby, sit down. I want to rehearse my presentation in front of you. I have an hour before I need to leave and I want you to listen. So you sit down, obviously, and you're listening to him go through his presentation and you can hear him in his presentation contradict himself. He's stuttering, he's mumbling. Overall, it's horrific, right? Now, you could use option one and you could say, darling, that was horrific. You know, I just don't think it's a good idea to even show up to this interview because you don't stand a chance. Like, it was so bad. Or you could use option two and you could say, you know what, baby, you have done this type of thing so many times, so I'm sure you'll be amazing. I'm sure you'll be great. And I promise you, 9 times out of 10, he will now go into that interview and he will probably do a lot better than what he would have done if you were to say to him, that was terrible. And the reasoning behind that is because now, when he looks at himself in his partner mirror, when he looks to you for that support, he sees someone who's looking at him and saying, you are so capable. You are worthy of this. You can do this and you can achieve this. Now he goes in and he shows up as a different type of person. It's a different type of confidence level. And people can feel that energy radiating from him. Notice how you didn't lie to him in this situation. You said, yeah, you've done this tons of times before. I'm sure you're going to be great. I'm sure you're going to be amazing. They're going to love you. You've not had to lie and do a full theatrical performance of, oh my gosh, yay, best presentation ever. Here's an award, here's a medal. You don't need to go into that much detail. Just be kind and create a loving and safe and positive partner mirror with your partner. So when he looks to you and thinks, that's the person that knows me the most, so what she says must hold some type of value. And if what you're saying is constantly positive and great, he's going to show up as this positive and great person, this successful person who's good with money, who's good with children, who eats healthy, who wants to provide for you, who wants to take you on dates. and he will continuously want to do those things because you have told him that he is capable of doing those things. So that is a wrap for today's episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to subscribe because I would love to have you here, and make sure to hit the thumbs up. And if you learn anything from this video, then let me know in the comment section any of your thoughts, any of your opinions. If you want to request a video for next time, for next week, let me know. I'd be more than happy to answer all of your questions. Mwah! Until next time, I love you. Bye.